Have you ever been so frustrated in life because you aren't where you want to be? You want to level up, but you can't seem to find the time or the resources to work toward your dreams. I think everybody can relate to that. So, how do you get to where you want to be while you're working, while you're paying the bills and taking care of your family and doing everything that you have to do in life? Today, I want to give you 3 simple keys to help you start where you are today to work towards getting to the life of your dreams. The first key is this: you have to be strategic. Y'all, strategic simply means that you have to have a plan and you have to know how you want to accomplish what you want to accomplish. In other words, you have to decide how you're going to do this, how you're going to work towards your dream while you're working your 9 to 5, how you're going to implement time into your busy schedule. What steps are you going to take in your current situation with your current responsibilities that are going to take you closer to where you want to be? And I know it might seem impossible to find extra time, so that really means you're going to have to put in a lot of extra effort. You're going to have to disrupt your day, whether that's by getting up early or staying up later. Whatever it might be, it's about you being strategic and making a plan and then working that plan. See, because you really don't need a full 40 hours every week to work on your dream. So you have to get clear today on how much time you do have. Where can you find X amount of hours into your current week, your current schedule? Now, you may have limited time, but you absolutely, positively have to have clear vision. Otherwise, you're going to be scattered and inconsistent because unclear paths are not going to get you to your desired results. So you're going to have to say goodbye to some things. It's time to say goodbye to the treadmill of life. Now, I know somebody got excited on that. The treadmill of life is simply doing the same thing day in and day out, looking at the same thing, talking about the same thing, leading you down the same path 24/7. It's time to fold up that treadmill, put it under the bed, put it in the garage, or just get rid of it. It's time for some new terrain. You got to take on some new paths that'll lead you to new things. I'm sure the terrain is going to be different. You're going to run into some unexpected curves, and that's okay. You've got this. You can handle this. You were built for pressure. And if you're a procrastinator, today's the day that you're going to have to let that go. You're going to have to stop waiting, and you're going to have to start doing. Start being prepared. Start doing things in a timely manner, because the longer you put things off, the longer, obviously, that it's going to take. Secondly, this is simple, but it's very important. You're going to have to think bigger. Y'all, small thinking keeps you small. Small thinking limits you. It keeps you from living the life of your dreams. It keeps you going around the same mountain day in and day out. It doesn't challenge you to grow, but instead it settles you into confinement. It settles you into the ordinary. It settles you into the mundane. If you haven't watched my video on things I would tell my younger self, I talk about being limited to my own environment and how it was scary for me to break out of the ordinary. I'm going to link that video right here. And if you're struggling with that, you should take a look at that video. Now, right here, I'm going to remind you of my now 90-year-old mom, who at 78 years old decided to dream outside of the box, to take on a new endeavor. Now, my mom loves to pray for sick people. She was healed of cancer many, many years ago. And, it's just her joy to pray for people who are sick. She came to me and she said, "April, I'm going to have a drive-through healing service." I mean, that was the greatest day of my life. Now, let me give you some background. She had lost my dad. She was doing life solo. She was doing the same routine she had done for years. And just all of a sudden, she decided to think bigger. She decided to think out of the ordinary. She decided to do something she hadn't done before. And oh my goodness, did she ever thrive. It gave her a new lease on life. And I often think, what if she would have just kind of settled in the background and said, "I'm too old. I can't do that." No, thank God she took a chance and she went after her next level dreams at 78 years old. Listen, folks, your mind is going to believe whatever you tell it. So guess what? That means that you're going to have to lose the negative self-talk. You're going to have to give up the defeated mentality, the victim mentality. The bottom line is you have to start believing in you. You have to stop doubting yourself, and you need to begin working toward proving your negative thoughts wrong. Listen, God believes in you, and it's time for you to start believing in you. Now, Undoubtedly, when you begin to think bigger, outside of your comfort zone, the pressure is going to come your way. And let me just tell you, that's okay. In these times of pressure, your true character is going to be revealed. You're going to make it through. The scripture says this: if you fall to pieces in a crisis, there wasn't much to you in the first place. Y'all, that's a hard scripture. But I think about Joseph in the Bible. He had a lot of pressure on him. He had a lot of bad things happening to him. But what is so interesting is that we see that even in prison, his character took him to places that others had never been. I mean, he remained consistent. He remained faithful during the pressure. His gifts and his talents brought him before the king. I mean, he was serving time, and yet because of his character and diligence, God honored him and took him to places that he probably had never dreamed. What we can learn from Joseph's story is this: if we do the work and stay diligent and stay consistent and stay determined, we really can see our dreams come to pass. We can't allow ourselves to get discouraged by what's not happening now, and simply remind ourselves that where we are now is temporary. It's not always going to be this way. The third key is you need to find your eagles. Find people who are soaring. Find people who've been there, done that, who've had this next level thinking, people who are successful, people who have been through some things, and learn from them, learn from their failures, learn from their successes. Become the best student you can become. Listen, learn, grow, and implement what they're saying. Make your spare time your learning time. Make your drive your mobile campus, and get around people who are dreaming way bigger dreams than you are. Listen to how they made it through the tough times of life, and watch how they're living a happy, fulfilled life, and have a family that's thriving. One thing I know about me is I want the whole package. I don't just want my business to thrive. I want to be around people whose relationships thrive. I'm not willing to sacrifice one for the other. So whether it's listening to podcasts or watching YouTube or going to conferences or watching virtual conferences, it doesn't matter how it's done. You just need to find your eagles, because when you hang out with eagles, you're going to soar. Now, here's the important thing, y'all. You got to stop feeding the life you don't want to live and start preparing for the one that you do. While you're working, while you're in that current situation, allow where you are right now to grow and mature you. So when it's time for the doors to open, you're going to be ready to walk through them. Don't get stuck playing catch up. Do what you can every single day to prepare you. And think of it like this: your current season is your training ground. You're preparing now for the next. And the bottom line is this: you deserve to live the life of your dreams, whatever that might be. So work toward it. Instead of thinking of excuses, get strategic and get a plan and work that plan. Dream God-sized dreams and surround yourself people who will inspire you to achieve amazing things. Stop thinking you can't and start believing you can, because you know what? God doesn't waste a thing. Hey, thanks for watching today. And let me just give a big shout out and thank you to all of you who subscribe to this channel. Y'all are just amazing. And I never take for granted that you take time to watch these videos. And I pray they're helping you live a life that's better than ever. Let me know in the comments below any takeaways you have from this video. And until next time, have an amazing day.